Kwab, who said Desmond Bane can't play with Paolo Banchero?
Man, who
A
said
lot
that?
of people said
Who said that?
that too. We didn't say
Who
it.
said that?
Not us.
Who said
No,
this is why? This is why you make the trade for Desmond Bane.
this is why you're patient. This is why you don't jump to conclusions. Desmond Bane balled out today. Let's get to it. The Magic beat the Heat 117-108. Desmond Bane 37-6-5. Paolo Banchero 18-7. Jalen Suggs 20 points. They advanced to the semifinals of the NBA Cup to play the winner of the Raptors Knicks, which we'll be covering in a second. For the Heat, Norman Powell 21 points, Tyler Herro 20, Bam Adebayo 19-8. They dropped to 14-11. Listen, the Heat spotted the Magic 15 points and said, "Hey, can you beat us now?" And the Magic were like, "Yeah, pretty easily. Not too bad."
Okay, we got it.
One thing I'll say about the Heat, they came out, they seemed like they had more energy than the Magic. And we say this all the time in our recaps, but you can really tell who's engaged early on. And a lot of teams take an early lead, or a lot of teams win games because they are the more physical team, because they are addressing, the point of attack. They are aggressive with point of attack defense, and they are attacking right away. And the Heat did that off the bat. There was no hesitation with anything. And on top of that, the Magic were turning the ball over like crazy in the first quarter.
Yep.
But once that settled down, and once you get the Heat in the half court, and they're not really doing anything to get you off guard. I mean, even when they were setting screens at the end of the game with Bam Adebayo and whatnot, there was like no purpose to the screens. Like Bam wasn't rolling hard to the hoop. They weren't getting anything, off the dribble. There wasn't really any paint touches from the screens. It was just, to me, I wouldn't say lazy offense, but unimaginative offense, whatever the correct word is there. And you can't do that against a Magic team that is too good defensively. The Magic are too physical defensively. The Magic are too aggressive defensively. And their point of attack defense is good enough where if you're a team like Miami, you're not going to beat the Magic playing this way. You're not. If this is a 7-game series, the Magic win this in 4 or 5 every time. I'm confident in that because you don't have any imagination on the offensive end. You can't just hope you turn the Magic over and over again, or they're missing threes or will quote from threes and expect to beat them. The Magic, to me, they came out a little flat. They were turning the ball over, but once they settled down, it was, to me, the obvious better team throughout the whole game. And honestly, both times you saw them, even though the other game was a closer game, has just been the Orlando Magic. They're a better team.
Yeah, I mean we've covered the Heat and the Magic multiple times on this channel, and even just Orlando and Heat game previously, and it kind of feels like it's been the same. We're saying the same thing over and over again when it comes to their style of play and the process of play. The Heat did come out like through the first punch, very, like you said, very aggressive. Like I was like, okay, well, I think this is the first time I've gotten to watch the Heat with Tyler Herro, and to see how Tyler Herro like came started off very aggressive in this offense. But the thing we've noticed, and we've said it multiple times, they haven't been able to sustain this level of offense throughout the course of a game.
Yeah.
And you might be able to against different teams, but the Magic defensively are really good. And when they were like you said again, slow down, cut off the turnovers, and were able to get into their process, this was the result. Desmond Bane went off, like just great game by him. And we've mentioned this before. It's not just shooting threes that people kind of attribute that to him just because he's known as a shooter. Getting to the rim, just being creative. More like he started playing with more of a purpose. Like when you see a mismatch attack, like just a great aggressive game by him. Great game by Paolo, which was much needed since they're going to be missing Franz Wagner for 2 to 4 weeks. I think it's said for a high ankle sprain.
It's only that because when I was watching the game happening against the Knicks, I thought it was way worse.
I thought it was a knee,
yeah,
right?
It was bad. I thought he was out for the season again. I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah.
Just when the Magic seemed like they were having their comeback season, Paolo gets back. So, happy to see that he's doing okay.
Yeah, happy to see that he's going to be okay. They got the MRI result. So, again, I think that we won't see what the ceiling of this Magic team is until they have both Franz and Paolo. But games like this, you see the potential. You see how good defensively this team is, but also how good offensively they are. When they get stops, they run. They shoot the ball. Like Jalen Suggs is having a phenomenal year on both sides of the ball. Like we can't stress that enough. His ability to get push the tempo, be a point guard on the floor, and even when Anthony Black is on the floor, he's another secondary ball handler. Still being able to create and get to his spots. I I think De Silva had a great game off the bench. Tristan De
Yeah,
Silva like came off and made an impact, which I felt like made a difference. The Magic's bench has always been making a difference with him, with Goga, who we always talk about too. I know you always talk about how much you love him,
yeah.
but yeah, great game by the Magic. They move on. I don't with this Heat team. We keep saying I don't think this is. I don't think that you're gonna keep with this like come playing playoff
You
time.
can't. You
Yeah, it
can't.
just doesn't. It doesn't feel
The Magic will
sustainable,
beat you
right?
9 out of 10 times. They will. Teams like
Yeah.
the Magic who are this good defense, they will beat you 9 out of 10 times. And
I feel like
for the Heat,
they'll adjust depending on the team they face, right? They have
they
to.
gave him, they spotted him 15 points. And you think
Yeah.
Spoelstra will? Maybe he will. You
Yeah.
know, I think they did find something with this type of offense earlier on the year, right? The Heat, no one really expected the Heat to be that good to start the season. I think Norman Powell's been a great addition. But again, like this isn't like you can't just keep going one-on-one in the half court, even pushing the ball. You just can't keep doing that. Yeah, you don't have the ISO players to be that good. You have the ISO players to be good enough to be 14 and 11, but you don't have the ISO players to be that good to beat a team like the Magic off the dribble every single time down the court. You just don't.
You just don't.
So like you got to have some type of imagination. You have to get teams in a blender. You have to put teams in rotation. That's the only way that you can beat teams. That's the only way you're going to be a good defensive team in the Eastern Conference play, in the semis, in the Eastern Conference Finals. Heck, even in the first round, depending on who you play.
Yeah.
So for me, like if I'm a Heat fan, and I'm sure Spoelstra knows this, to me he's the best coach in the league. So I'm not like dropping knowledge on Spoelstra and people who watch the Heat. Y'all know, like he'll adjust, he'll find something. Maybe this is the beginning of the season. They found something early on, and he's sticking with it for as long as he possibly can. Like I say every time we recap the Heat, credit to him, he does go away from it. It's not like they play like that all game. There are times where they do set ball screens. Today, I just thought they were very ineffective because it didn't seem like there was any purpose for it whatsoever.
Yeah.
There was no Bam wasn't really rolling. The Magic were playing drop, and it seemed like they didn't know what to do. They do set off the ball screens, but they didn't really get much out of that action. Like, for instance, like the Cavs, they run an off the ball screen into a flare screen. Like, there's no secondary screen after their first screen.
Yeah.
They ran a double drag screen a couple times, but nothing really came out of it. And for me, it's like, all right, well, you guys got to be a little more imaginative on the offensive end if you're going to be even considered a contender. And that's why, last power rankings, even though the Heat had a better record than the Magic, I was like, nah, we're putting the Magic ahead.
Yeah.
Because in my eyes, it tells me the Magic are better. And, I do want to turn my attention to the Magic a little more just because the whole Desmond Bane, Paolo Banchero fit has been kind of a topic of people who want to not believe in the Magic in the sense of like, well, they can't play together. Look how bad of a start Desmond Bane got off to. I don't think it's a coincidence that he started playing well when Paolo went down. And maybe those two things can be related where Desmond felt more comfortable to step up and initiate more offense for himself. But that doesn't mean that when Paolo gets back, he's not going to stay comfortable. And you saw today, he was very comfortable. And Paolo let him rock, man. Like, shout out to Paolo Banchero. And I think Paolo had a good game. I don't think he was great today. I think he made, he has a tendency to just get tunnel vision and go into the lane and to the paint. And teams, the scouting report is once he gets into the paint, you surround him because he will kick it out every once in a while, but he will turn the ball over. He will force shots in the paint, and he did that a couple times today. He also did, make the right pass. It's a learning process for Paolo. But for the most part in the second half, Desmond Bane got it going from the jump in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And he recognized that. And I think with him not forcing anything, if you're not taking the shot, even if Desmond Bane's not taking the shot, you're allowing like Tristan De Silva to corner three. You're allowing Jalen to do his thing. You're allowing Goga to do other things. So for me, I think it's more, I don't think he realizes, maybe he does realize it, but I hope he realizes how valuable it is to like go with the flow of the game and trust your teammates because you will have what happened tonight where Desmond Bane carries you across the finish line.
Yeah, I feel like with the start of the year, there's been that kind of narrative that like Paolo, not like Paolo is selfish, but like he can't play with this team, which is so weird. I
The
feel
him
like
and Franz thing, that's always been like a
yeah, like a whole thing. But like even during the course of this game, there were like different things that the Magic did that was impressive. Like there were Orlando was using Paolo to attack like mismatches. So like it would be like Anthony Black setting a screen to get Tyler Herro into action so that Paolo could attack that. And there were times when I remember a couple times early on in the game, I think they even highlighted it during the halftime where like he would attack through the mismatch and he would get crowded and he wouldn't make the easy pass. But then he started making an easy pass, which just opened up the floor. And then you get, like you said, Tristan De Silva, and then you get Desmond Bane going off, and it just helps the flow of the offense. Like like Paolo's a walking mismatch. Like he's a walking mismatch for that team, and so I mean, so is Franz when they get him back. So
Yeah,
it
but
gives them two
Franz has better
players.
shot selection. I think that's the difference between the two.
I
I think
mean,
Paolo's a better talent, but I think Franz is a little smarter of a basketball player when teams
yes,
are
yeah,
looking for the shot.
and I mean yes and no because we've watched the Magic at during late game situations that we're like, why did you take that shot?
Yeah, but to me that's coaching. To me, that's like, hey, we're gonna set this up where we try to get a mismatch and you go ISO and we're gonna live with the results. Whereas
Yeah,
during the course of the game, if you get ISO, you don't have to take that shot. You can like, oh, I don't like it, and move the basketball, or you can
uh,
figure something out. But in late game situations, if the coach is calling ISO at the top of the key with a mismatch with a minute 30 left to go in the game and it's 1 point game, I feel like you feel the need to score the bat, like do other things. I
yeah.
just feel like it's a different mentality. I
I
do get
mean,
what you're
but
saying though.
okay, yeah, but I understand what you're saying. But also, like I would
Yeah.
say, like with the coaching aspect of it, like you want your best player with the ball in your hands and trying to make the play necessarily sometimes,
Yeah, I mean,
and
but
if
I
you want
want
to live with the results, you live with the results.
I
Like I
do, but
guess,
I want the my best player with the ball in his hands with multiple ways to score the basketball, right? So
yeah,
to me, if you're doing an ISO at the top of the key and the defense is crowding the paint,
yeah,
the way that with Paolo it is, it's like, all right, he's going to drive to the hoop, he's going to score, he doesn't score. But like for instance, you can get him on the block.
yeah,
Now it's like, okay, if they double, you kick. Like there's just different possibilities where it's like you
yeah.
can draw the defense in different ways. Maybe a pick and roll. Maybe you get him off of a screen. It's just to me, I rather some sort of action. And I'm
Some
not
sort
saying
of
ISO
move,
is
some
always
sort of
right.
action, some sort of movement.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
mean,
want
and
like a
ISO works.
subtle,
It's like
yeah,
if you have someone like, for instance, I'm a Knicks fan, right? Carmelo Anthony getting the ball in the ISO, go for it. Like I
yeah,
get that. I'm not saying it's wrong to do. I'm
yeah,
not saying it's bad to do. ISO is a thing because ISO works when you have someone who can go ISO, right?
yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Johnson, give him the ball,
Give him the
game.
ball.
You know
That's
that.
game. Yep, yep,
You watched
yep.
that for a few
Yeah,
years.
he is called ISO Joe for a reason. So
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
not saying that can't work. Just preferably the way I like to play the game.
yeah,
I just think if you get people in action, whatever it is,
yeah,
screening, on ball screen, off ball screen, you
yeah.
create
Pin
so many
down
avenues in
something.
which your
Yeah,
team can score the basketball.
yep.
Whether it's a driving kick, whether it's a double, whether it's a pocket pass, and to me, I feel like we're going off like the rails here, but like with the Magic, with their late game situations, it's just been mismatch, ISO, everyone standing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So,
mean, no,
but
it's not off the. I don't think we're off the
yeah,
rails just because we've, like we said, we've recapped a bunch of Magic games where we're just like, yeah, he could have done something better there at the end of the
yeah.
game. Like that's been our reaction. And sometimes when your offense stalls, or like it feels like, oh, they could have done something better in that situation.
Yeah.
So, and we've both said like having Paolo and having his ability to pass the ball is just, I guess, it comes down to the point of his willingness. Like he has to be willing to do it. Just because this game, like you said, there was the game we watched, and he had 7 assists in the first half. He was cooking on that. He was cooking as a point forward, and then he ended up with 7 assists for the rest of the game because
Right.
he decided to put his head down and attack. But
Right.
hit like you made the statement before, his talent is just immense. So like you want him in different situations where he can have the ability not just to create for himself but to create for his team.
Right.
And yeah, like a team like the Magic, we enjoy watching them. We feel like they need to get healthy again. Like we do it right there. It
Yeah.
was right there, and the next game happened. So maybe you know what it is. Maybe Desmond Bane had this game just because like after he threw the ball off OG in the next game, he was like, "All right, man,
So
I got it."
unnecessary. So unnecessary.
I'm still dying laughing about
Bro, that
that.
was insane. Like, even the ref was shocked. He was like, out on OG.
The ref was like, "I don't know what you had." It was like, wait. I just I know now this is off the rails.
Okay.
That was a play. That was a play like we would do playing like 20 like pick up and just with your friends just like
Kidding
joking
around.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
No, but he was
this
serious.
this man was not even out of bounds and he
No.
just I was out. I know people like, oh, I'm like I was dying. I was dying
Yo,
laughing.
Nick's Twitter was going nuts because they were mad at OG for not like getting up and like tackling him.
OG was probably confused.
Right, what
OG
the hell
looked
happened?
OG was like, wait, what was it?
No, Knicks and Magic fans have been on war. I mean, I don't know what it's like if you're not on Twitter, but like they've been at each other's throats
Hey
the
man,
past few because there are Magic fans who felt that like Franz getting hurt was like a cheap shot, which it wasn't. I mean, Harold Porty was going for the basketball. Sucks that he got hurt. So I don't know. I just feel like
it's a thing now.
it's
They
so
try to,
toxic because,
yeah.
and I'm gonna say this as a Knicks fan, I know like what it's like to like be I'm not saying this about the Magic, but I know what it's like to be a terrible team for so long that when you start being good, you start thinking like, oh, they're scared of us now. Like during with the Miami Heat with the big three, like LeBron and stuff. Like, oh, you don't want to face the Knicks. And then back in their minds, Heat fans are like, you think we give up about the? You think we care about the Knicks? Yeah, well, we beat you 2 times this year. You think we care that you beat us? Like it doesn't. And that's how Knicks fans are reacting to Magic fans who are like, oh, 2-1 series. What you guys scared of us? And we're like, no, we're not. But also, it works the other way around where it's like, I don't think Magic fans are thinking about the Knicks every day.
Every day. I don't think they are. Yeah, I don't think they are.
It just so happened that one of their best players got hurt against the Knicks, a team
Yep.
that's going to be a contender in the Eastern Conference, and you start talking crap. But I don't think Magic fans like day and night like can't wait to face the Knicks. I think that it's just sometimes things happen, and you're not in our heads as much as you think you are, and we're not in their heads as much.
I think it's good. It's good for the NBA, man. I love it.
No,
just
I think
'cause
it's great.
like,
I think more teams should hate each other.
yeah, more teams should hate each other, and these are they're, like you said, 2 top teams right now. The Magic are surging right now in the East. Is beautiful. They look great defensively and offensively, man. They look great, man. They might have a low key candidate for Coach of the Year. Like it's great, man. I'm enjoying it. I need the Magic to get healthy and stay healthy because I want to see what it looks like. But great win against the Heat. Great win in the cup. Next round, hopefully we'll see if it's the Knicks, so they can get it popping. They can get it popping again. But man, great win. Great win by the Magic.
All right, we got to watch Knicks Raptors. The game just started, and we got to review that. So we'll see you for that. The Magic beat the Heat 117-108. You can follow us over at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh. He's Kwab. We'll see you for Knicks Raptors. Peace.